Trebel's model, music for free, and have brands sort of foot the bill. That's a whole new advertising model.
When it comes to Bob and Gary, they're all about how they're actually going to generate revenue.
One day they're doing a deal with Televisa, the next day there's something about Walmart, the next day they're raising money. So my head explodes and I'm like, wow, these guys are doing a lot.
Gary, I just hung up with Mike, and you absolutely killed it yesterday.
Tell me more. Tell me way more.
He said, you guys are now in the big leagues. You got all these music industries. How much should I invest?
Trebel is a music app unlike any other in the world. It's on demand, meaning you choose a song. It's offline. It's full licensed library. It's all of the best music in the world, but it's free for the consumer. That's Trebel.
We make it possible for your music consumption to be free because it's the brands who are paying for your music.
Brands want access to our consumers, and they want to advertise to them. They want to make them special offers. They want to target them on their phones. Brands pay for that. That's how we make money. That's how our investors get a return, and we have a patent to do it.
When you open the app, you have the home screen. We have both playlists and we also have new releases. Kanye West, Iron Maiden, and Lady Gaga. Let's just take this Kanye West album. There's a big yellow button here. This is download album. And when you tap on it, this is what happens. We are going to play a short ad while this record downloads. And we are monetizing the preview and download experience as opposed to most music services will interrupt the playtime.
Subscription growth is in fact slowing. The subscription model is great for people that can pay and that want to pay, but there are a lot of people that don't, so the industry is looking for the next big solution, and we see that in Trebel.
Check this out. We're #1 now in Mexico. When we launched the product, in less than 2 years, we had gone to 3.2 million monthly active users. We've been growing 50 to 100% year over year, quarter after quarter.
When you look at the dynamics of the global music population, we've got about just shy of, 8 billion people on this planet. A little more than half of them have smartphones. The entire paid streaming industry, this is Amazon Music, Apple Music, and Spotify together, is expected to cap out at 700 or 800 million. So that leaves 4 billion people, and we feel that we've created the best mousetrap to go after those 4 billion people who won't pay for music.
Today I'm meeting Gary at his first Trebel office, so I'm excited to see where all the magic was made. Gary, hello!
Lauren,
It's so good to
welcome
see
to
you.
the place where it all started.
I'm so excited to be here.
Check this out. So we moved from my kitchen into this place.
This building.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see
Yeah,
it.
so am I actually. Let's check it out. I am very excited to share the beginnings of Trebel with Lauren. I'm hoping that she's going to connect with the story of our company. She's going to connect with what we're doing and the mission that we have.
And your daughters, they were also involved.
So they were actually the main instigators, in the beginning. So I have 2 daughters, Juliet and Grace. One of them was in the orchestra in high school. The other one was a singer. So we talked a lot about music and we consumed a lot of music. What finally gave me the push to start the company was when there was an incident at my daughter's school, where one of the kids unwittingly pulled some content from a torrent site. And instead of it being music, it turned out to be something sinister. My daughters challenged me at the time. They said, you're a smart guy, you're a smart engineer. Why can't you solve this problem? And then one day I said, if you guys will do it, I'll do it with you. They were intimately involved, right from the beginning, knowing that I was building something with my daughters. It was a lot of fun, actually. I think that's what kind of gave me the extra push and the extra energy. Yeah, this is definitely bringing back some memories, for sure.
So this was your seat?
That's right.
Where was Bob?
Bob was a huge find for us. I actually met Bob in this building. So he agreed to a meeting. I wanted to impress him. It's like, hey, we got leather chairs, look at this huge giant table. This is our boardroom. What I didn't know is that he didn't come to interview for the job. He came with a mission to sell me on an idea that he had.
Pitch you something.
He was definitely pitching me. And the more I'm listening to him, the more I'm thinking, this guy's a great sales guy. Like, that was the best interview ever.
Calling him right now. Bob, hello!
I know that room. It's got really, really crappy fake leather chairs.
Is that your other office? Because, oh my goodness.
This is Trebel Beachside. I wanted to get to know Gary, and when he told me what they had going on at Trebel, and even though it was a small team, I realized that it had the chance to be a billion or a multi-billion-dollar company. And I quickly said, you know, I'd love to join what you guys got cooking. And, well, the rest is history.
Not every company is big. It's not going to start out big overnight. And I think to see Gary's story and where he started from, other entrepreneurs, they'll be able to say, okay, this little 4 walls that I have can grow into something. If that is not an American story, I don't know what is.
We have millions of users. Making it possible for them to invest in the company that they love, that they are excited about, was something that was very appealing to me. After completing the Regulation A financing, maybe we can fuel the growth and the expansion, adding more customers, more territories, more countries.
It's not just go time for us, but for everybody. I love pitching investors Trebel. It's what I live for.
Trebel is an app that allows users to search, preview, download, and play offline the music that they're passionate about.
That's a pretty good upside.
Bob loves to close the deal. He loves the hunt. He takes that as a huge challenge. When you tell Bob no, what he hears is, sell me more.
So today is our pitch with a billionaire by the name of Chris Birch. For those of you who don't know, Chris Birch is the co-founder of the Tory Burch clothing and retail line, and he is a prolific angel investor at Birch Creative Capital, over 60 investments. I've been told his nickname is the King.
I'm Chris Birch. I build my own companies, so I love to create. I love to invest in entrepreneurs and in new businesses. The most fun is when we invest in great people that have a vision. I think the reason I've been successful is a little bit from my childhood. I was an F student, a bedwetter, a kid that really struggled with everything. And I learned through that process of ADD, of listening and listening well. I go at an investment as an emotional partner with them. It's about their childhood, it's about how they were brought up, and it's about what their vision is and their tenacity. It's about the human. So where are you guys from?
We're from Los Angeles.
And you guys been partners how long?
3.5 years now?
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
Rock and roll, first job out of college? What did you guys do before?
This is my 4th company, actually.
Oh, wow.
And I'm an engineer by training, a coder, right? So the first company was highly technical, joined 5 guys, grew it to 420 people, and we actually took it public. It was a lot of fun. We ended up selling the company. So I cashed in some of my chips and started another company after that. So Chris is a fashion guy. He knows fashion, but I also know that he's invested in tech companies. One thing that he doesn't have in his portfolio in the tech space is music tech.
Dude, you got a great personality for being an engineer, man.
Well, you know, I had to get a transplant
So
at some point. You have a pretty good personality for an engineer. I wasn't sure whether to thank him or not.
Are you guys in the music business before? I have a lot of people in the music business.
We have not.
How'd you get the deals with a record label?
Look, they saw the opportunity, right? All I had to do is say, we're going after the people who are not paying for music, who are unlikely to pay for music. We're expanding the size of the market for you. So you're going to talk to your label friends, and,
Yeah.
and they're going to tell
I
you.
actually can't believe you did a label.
It takes
That
2
is-
years on average.
Are you raising money now? Are you going public? Or what are you doing? You're just in here to hang with me?
So we have a goal, a milestone that we're trying to hit. We're trying to get to 15,666,666 users. We're at about 3.6 million. To get there, our Reg A is $25 million offering. We're very confident that we're going to raise some of it. What we could use, though, is a boost. Put your name, the other people you bring in.
You can do a press release.
Big press release, say you guys are in.
I love this. You're actually pitching me hard, dude. You're pitching me hard.
When working with angel investors, you've got to wait till you see the sparkle in their eye. And when you see that, you go for the close. It's for the audience. We want them and you to be partners. All of you guys have the same terms.
So you won't let me in the early round, but you want me to go in now? You're
Let him
like,
say yes, Bob.
I'll only say yes if I have the people that I know in the music business take a quick look at it. I'll talk to them all. I'll get the thing. I'll get back to you, and it'll be excellent.
When he said he was going to check with his friends, I was like, grab Gary's cell phone, call anyone in the music industry. We're partners with these guys, and Chris, you should make an investment. I was hoping he would have made that call right in front of us.
You guys are dynamic.
Thank you.
You know, I'll give you a fist bump. I'll give you a high five, but more importantly, it's going to be called the checkout. And the checkout.
What is it? Okay, what is it?
The checkout is give me a hug, man.
I'll do it.
Because the check.
It went great. I think Chris is interested. And at one point, he hugged Bob.
I love that guy. Probably the most unorthodox meeting that we've ever had.
I think he's going to invest, but until the money is in the bank, we don't know. As we start interacting with Jeff, I think it's really important for you to do what you do best, right? Get him fully vested and invested in the company.
I mean, if you think about it, we're music for the masses. We're on the brink of going worldwide. Who better to promote that? He's got connections in every country.
Yeah.
Third world countries, emerging countries.
If he gets excited about our company, the sky's the limit. He's the type of guy that, can help us in every which way, possible and imaginable.
Let's just jump in. You know that I've been in the music business. It's a space that I care about. My first question is, why Trebel?
Trebel is the only licensed legal app in the world that allows consumers to engage with their favorite music at no cost to them, but at a cost to the brands and the advertisers.
That's a mouthful. I asked Bob and Gary to explain to me what Trebel was. We had to do it 3 or 4 times, which is not a good sign. If people don't understand, they just move on. I don't get it, I don't know what it is, it's just another music app. And that was actually my first response. So from the beginning, our conversation was, you got to refine this messaging. What I'm trying to figure out is the mindset of your customer. Tell me about your customer. Who is this person?
1 in 3 Americans right now are struggling.
Wait, you sound like you're running for office, dude. Just saying. 1
right.
in 3 Americans. I guarantee a song in every household. All right, go on, seriously.
So we have 4 million people in Mexico who use our app.
How many total people using it?
About 4.5.
Mexico and where else?
Mexico and the United States. And we did a 15,000 early 2021 survey. 1 in 2 customers, before using Trebel, had no data plan. What they do is they go to the park or they go to a library.
That's right.
They download a bunch of music, and you cannot play that if you don't have an offline playing service like ours. Our product market fit is solid. Consumers want what we have. Any day of the week, for $5,000 or $10,000, we can add 50,000 users to our service.
I'd really like you guys to think about how much of our money do we spend in the US, because it is nice to get that little badge around our neck that says the US like us, but how much of the time are we spending just building millions of users? Because there's a value of 50 million users, even though only 1 million are in the US, but we have 50 million users.
That's right. Marketing is not simply just branding. Marketing is also deciding which countries you want to go to. That's a strategic decision that I think he can help us with. He's made these decisions already, and I think he'll come up with a good worldwide unfolding plan for us.
Give me a sense of customers you got so far. What hooked them? Tell me what media dollars you spent, your marketing money. How'd you get them?
We hardly spend any money on customer acquisition.
Okay.
You go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, because we are the only free and legal music distribution service, we show up, organically. I mean, we did do a little bit of branding, mostly in Mexico, bringing on board some big and important retailers and brands, because as you know, we're a scale then monetized business. So you need to have minimum monetizable scale.
Right.
So with Televisa, they own a piece of the company, as does Univision. We created a show called Trebel Presenta. And then we had some of the best Latin American artists, like Camilo, like Sebastián Yatra, like Anita, promoting Trebel as a brand where these big artists can distribute their music.
Hello, hello.
There she is. Welcome to the canals, Lauren. So
I'm
good to
so
see you
happy
again.
to see you
How are
again.
you?
I'm good.
So I'd say come on into this office, but really Venice is the office today.
Well, this is like a Pinterest board. Today we are hanging out with Bob, the CFO at Trebel. Look at this view. This is incredible.
This truly is a magical place that's birthed some real successes, and my involvement with Trebel started right here.
So you walk every day?
Every day I'm walking the dog or playing with my little 4-year-old, pushing the stroller through these canals, and I'm blessed. I'll tell you, my early days came from a broken family, really humble working class roots. I started companies in high school. Out of my dorm room, I was running businesses.
Yeah.
And that's where I think my entrepreneurial execution was born. Since then, I've had a number of successful companies, and it's allowed me to live this way.
What I loved the most about meeting Bob was that he wasn't another finance bro. I really got to hear his story and his journey and his humble beginnings and where he's at today and why he thinks the way that he does. And for me, I'm able to really connect with Bob on that level. What else motivates you? What gives you that oomph, that day-to-day?
It's my family. I'm in my second marriage,
Yeah.
and I have a 4-year-old. So I have a 30-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And people are
Crazy.
yeah, that's what I get. And John Robert, we call him Bo.
Yeah.
he was born over 100 days early. He's got cerebral palsy, so the kid can read. It says treble music, but he can't walk in.
Yeah.
You know, the business is business, but I'm driven now to succeed, to give that little boy the best life that he can have.
Yeah. I can relate to your family and your son. I have a twin brother with cerebral palsy as well, and I am motivated to do more, to be more, because if he could, I know that he would. Another thing that I really liked about Bob is how much that our stories were similar. For me, it really made Bob more personable. I was more empathetic to him. I realized that he's going through the same problems that a lot of people probably go through as well. It makes me more interested in wanting to know his company. So you're a CFO of a global company.
Yeah, so 25 engineers in Armenia, as you know, Latin America. So we've got 15 people out of Mexico City, and we have 2 people in Colombia. Recently, we opened up our Sao Paulo office, so we landed in South America.
Why reggae?
In addition to it being extremely exciting and fun, it's giving hundreds of thousands of people the opportunity to become part of Trebel at a very early stage.
Yep.
We wanted a way that the regular folk, everybody in this country, had a chance to get in on Trebel. And that's the main reason why we're doing reggae.
I love that.
My mother and my mother-in-law got in at the same terms.
I love that. Reggae is obviously a new space, it's very innovative, so I love leaning into companies that see what reggae is and the value that it can have. They really understand the space and music, and so I'm really excited to see what their journey will look like for the rest of the season. Bob and Gary made some bold statements about how user-friendly this app is, but I can honestly say that it is true. But I still think that we should take a deeper look into the company. Bob is quick to point out their market opportunity is larger than the entire subscription streaming space combined. We can acknowledge that those 4 billion plus people are not necessarily paying customers. Trebel's customers and main source of revenue are advertisers. And as we've seen with other scale-up companies on going public, they are operating at a loss, and there is doubt on their ability to continue operating as a going concern. All right, let's look at the risk associated with their business. Trebel relies on third-party licenses, namely contracts with the music labels. There is no guarantee they'll be able to renew those contracts indefinitely or with favorable terms. Also, there is no guarantee that the recording artists will even continue to partner with the record labels to manage their rights, or that the laws or regulations relevant to Trebel's business practices will remain in place. Further, as a technology and data-driven company, Trebel is at risk of security breaches that could negatively affect business. Going public is for entertainment purposes, and at no time do the company, sponsors, nor any participants provide investment advice, endorsement, analysis, or recommendations with respect to securities. On Going Public, you're going to hear from 4 companies that are giving you an opportunity to invest through an exemption from registration with the SEC called Regulation A. These offerings have not gone through a registration process with the SEC and do not have the investor protection that it provides. And it should be noted that just because the show is called Going Public, there is no guarantee that any company will in fact go public or ever list on an exchange like NASDAQ, for example. Bottom line, you need to know the risk going in. And Going Public makes no assurances or guarantees that any potential investor commitment or strategies discussed will result in company's success. Another thing you need to know is that Going Public is operated by Crush Capital, and Crush Capital is being compensated by the companies featured on the show. And some of our mentors have interest in the companies as well. These relationships mean that there could be a conflict of interest between the investors, Crush Capital, the companies featured, and the mentors on the show. We detail all these potential conflicts on the Going Public website at goingpublic.com.